I'm Michael / Bill, and I'm going to be the client for someone with financial troubles.
Okay, so what brings you in today?
Well, I'm dealing with something I'm not really used to. Actually, like growing up, our family had no trouble with money. I knew always be provided for, but now my family's recently fallen on some pretty hard times, and it's strange. It's been a struggle for us.
How long did this start, like, been going on?
It's only been like the past couple of months. My dad just told me that he can't support me anymore just because we don't have the money for it.
So in the last month, have you been looking for a job, or are you a full-time student also?
I am a student. I've been trying to find some part-time work, but I don't have anything on my resume.
Right. I know that's kind of tricky, and with school, it's hard to balance that. And have you talked to your dad, like, one-on-one, and has he gave you any options on how maybe you could better yourself financially?
Not really. There hasn't really been much communication about it. It almost feels like it's just something that our family avoids talking about. It just feels very taboo.
So when you mean financial troubles, does that mean he paid for, like, your car and your housing and, like, groceries, like, just living expenses?
Yeah.
And that's just completely gone away with?
Thankfully the car is done, but I still need to make monthly rent, and honestly, I saved money a little bit before, but I'm burning through it pretty fast.
Right, because you weren't expecting to have to spend the money you were saving.
Yeah, it was definitely unforeseen. I can't believe how much I have to get through with paying rent, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I had to find somewhere else to stay.
I know. When I was in school, I had to pay for a lot of my stuff, and I seeked out and looked for scholarships out there that you can fill out, and they'll grant you money to not live, but you can use that money towards other things. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of scholarships out there that fit what you're going through. You know?
Yeah, actually, I'm willing to bet that next year for classes that will definitely help a lot more. Man, I hope I'm able to go ahead and get that together, but I'm definitely gonna look more into it.
You just have to remember that you're not the only student out there that's going through this, you know, and at least, do you know are you good at saving money and building up?
I'm good at saving money, but when there's no money coming in, I can't really save it.
So this happened a month ago, that you were just he just said, I can't support you anymore?
Yeah.
And from then on, you've just been going, like, paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah, completely.
Do you have, like, a resume out there to put into jobs?
I've done a couple of summer jobs, so I can do some things, and I can put something on my resume, but I haven't had a legitimate job, so that's.
Do you have an ideal job in mind that maybe you could balance with school and working?
Honestly, I've only started, and right now I really wanted to try and find work, like as a cashier at a good restaurant, or maybe a server there, but no one seems to be hiring it where I'm looking.
I know, especially with summer coming up, everybody wants a summer job and stuff. Have you also looked at taking out loans?
I've thought about it. Yeah, it's required. Or if things get to a point where I need to get that just to help me get through this situation.
I would also maybe set up an appointment. I know on campus and stuff they have, like, financial advisors. Maybe you could set up a meeting with them, and they could give you, like, a goal or a plan on how to be somewhat financially stable, so you're not worrying. Because I know when you stress about money, then you stress about other things, you know, and we don't want that.
Definitely.
I think a a good goal would be go see a financial helper, or just do you just I not like cut back on stuff, but do you eat out a lot? Do you cook it? Do you cook?
I definitely, or I ate, or I still eat out a little bit, not, or probably more often than I should with how I am. It's just what I was used to.
Right. And do you think you spend a lot of money on gas driving from back and forth to school or where you go?
Yeah, I actually live about 20 minutes away from campus.
So there's no way you could walk or ride a bus or anything, just so you could save some of that money?
I've been looking into some ways of like trying to avoid. Actually, you remind me. I've been actually carpooling a lot lately.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So do you have a goal do we have a goal that we want to make for the next council meeting? Because I know that this started a month ago, and we don't want to be in a bigger hole than we are right now a month from now. So I know that you've looked into, you have been looking at jobs, and you do still have some money in savings that you can live off of.
Right.
And maybe we talked about getting financial or loans or scholarships, applying for those, which you could bring in and we could look at and apply. I could help you out with that. So do you have a goal that you maybe want to reach or do by next counseling session?
Ideally, I hope I'll have a job by then, something that'll be enough to where I can support myself for now. I would definitely like to look more into loans, so see if there's anything that I can do to just at least make it so I can get through this time.
I know that you can go online and see what jobs are opening in this area, so you don't have to drive that far to get to where you want to be. So I definitely think that, and I will keep an eye open for jobs I hear, like even doing yard work or cleaning pools and stuff in the summer can give you some sort of income,
Right.
So I think that can be a really good option. Also, I can help you apply for scholarships and look at loans and stuff.
That would be so helpful.
Yes.
I would really appreciate that.
Okay, so next time we'll do that.
That sounds perfect.
Okay, good.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful session.